Hi, I wanted to just quickly show you a nice visual to explain how vaccines work. And so let's start first with what happens when a new virus enters your body. What's going on? Okay, so here we have a virus. Okay, it comes into your body. All on the outside of the virus are these proteins or antigens. Okay, and each virus has a unique set of proteins. Okay, let's kind of zoom in. Let's say this is one right on the outside. Okay. All right. So now what's going to happen is your white blood cells, which are part of your immune system, will come in and be like, oh, this doesn't belong here. And it's going to recognize what's on the outside, and it's going to then create these antibodies. And these antibodies are very, very specific to each individual virus and the protein on that virus. So it's only going to match up with this one here. Okay, so it fits with this one. But if it comes across any other proteins or antigens, okay, nope, doesn't fit. All right. So now that your body has created this antibody, it's now in your body, it's in your immune system. At any time it comes across this virus again, it's going to be able to destroy it. Okay, it's ready to fight it off because it already has the antibody created. Okay, so now let's talk about how does a vaccine work, okay? So a vaccine is just kind of speeding up this natural process that your body does. So let's say here, some vaccines, and a lot of the vaccines that you have had, they're taking the virus and putting it in your body, but they're not going to do an active kind of living virus. Okay, they take one that's just like a partial virus or destroyed, so it can't make you sick, right? It's not an active virus, and you inject this into your body, and then you go through all those steps again. Your white blood cell sees it, it knows that it's not supposed to be there. It makes an antibody here that matches up perfectly with this one. And then it can destroy. So now you have the antibodies in your body ready to go so that if this living one comes back into you, it's ready to fight it off right away. Okay, so that's how a vaccine works. Now, I want to talk a little bit about these vaccines that they're talking about with coronavirus that are called RNA vaccines. And these vaccines are new. Okay, we haven't created one of these before, but they do something really interesting and they work a little bit different than what I just mentioned. And that's because they're using RNA. Now, this here is actually a strand of DNA because it has two sides. Now, if we just took one half of this, if I cut it down the middle, okay, that would be RNA. And what this is it's instructions for how to make a protein. That's what DNA is. It's how do you make a protein? This is how. It's follow these instructions step by step and you build a protein. So what this RNA is doing is they've created, the scientists, RNA that is coding its instructions for how to make one of these proteins. Okay. And so what they'll do is they'll insert this in, this is the vaccine, they insert this instruction into your body. And then your body starts making these, right? It just starts making these antigens or these proteins. Okay, it makes these proteins. It's not making this. We're not putting this whole virus, not even, a dead version of coronavirus in you. We're only putting the proteins in you. Okay, but your white blood cells see these proteins. These aren't supposed to be here, right? Makes these again, makes a perfectly fitting antibody that matches up with the proteins that's in the coronavirus. Okay, so now if you come into contact with the real coronavirus, you already have these antibodies ready to go. So it's a really neat way to use this technology, and it's a new way to make vaccines, and it's pretty exciting because they're turning out to sound like they're pretty darn effective. And that is the story of vaccinations and the coronavirus vaccine. I hope you enjoyed this production. I'll take a bow right now, right? Bow.